February 4th, 2011. This is today's climate change update. I'm going to start with the extinction protocol, where they have a story. 2 severe Amazon droughts in 5 years alarm scientists. Now this is an official story. Brazil new research shows that 2010 Amazon drought may have been even more devastating to the region's rainforests than the unusual 2005 drought, which previously billed as 1 in a 100-year event. Now they're going on about carbon emissions and how it's killing the forests, and if we've been paying attention at all, that what's going on in Brazil right now is the complete opposite of their most severe flood ever. So they went from severe drought last year to severe flood this year. It's one of those carbon tax dam stories, I'm thinking. Future winters can move into uncharted territory, warns meteorologists. That's an ice age story. Worsening drought in Somalia leaves 2 million at risk, warns UN. War-torn Somalia is facing what could be an extremely serious drought, as senior United Nations aid official warned Thursday. Now, I reported on this a little while back, as far as the herders were bringing their livestock into the city because there was nothing to eat. They got no water. Planetary tremor story. And northern hemisphere covered in snow and ice. We've got a story on oysters are becoming extinct, says experts. Naturally growing oysters are virtually extinct, researchers claimed yesterday. Fewer than 1% of natural oyster beds survive, they say. Now, of course, they're blaming us on this, overharvest and pollution, of course. Heavy snowfall crushed buildings across the northeast United States. Now, I watched a video on this store collapsing earlier today, and it was just pretty amazing stuff. Heightened activity seen in Talo volcano in the Philippines, like I reported last night. And here's an important story. Wholesale food prices rise for the 7th consecutive month. World food prices rose a record high in January, according to the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization. The FAO Food Price Index, which measures the wholesale price of basic foods within a basket, average of 231 points last month, up by 3.4% from December. This is the 7th monthly rise for the index. These high prices are likely to persist in the months to come. The FAO economists said the individual group components of the index, apart from the meat, all registered rises in January. The cereal price index averaged 245 points in January, reflecting the rise in prices of wheat and grain. This was driven higher by flooding in Australia, which is a major wheat exporter. Rice prices fell slightly as the data coincident with harvests in many countries. The high price of food is thought to have been a factor in recent political unrest in both Algeria and Tunisia, and in the form of anti-government demonstration protests which have spread to neighboring Egypt and Jordan. Recently, white sugar futures hit record high over the concern that damage Cyclone Yasi could cause the Australian cane crop. World Bank President Robert Zoellick has asked global leaders to put food first and tackle the problem of price volatility. We are going to be facing a border trend of increasing commodity prices, including food commodity prices, he says. Very interesting story indeed. Now, over in earthchanges.net, we got a mysterious stink in the LA neighborhood. The fire department's looking into it. They don't know what it is. We've got extreme cold blasts, Arizona. Baby, it's cold outside. Arizona is being hit with extreme cold, and it's only getting colder. There you go, Commando. Major evacuation after Southwest China earthquake. I had a 4.8. I reported on that one yesterday. And then they have despair and relief in the wake of Cyclone Yasi. Emergency crews are cutting their way into storm-shattered communities in northern Queensland to assess the extent of the damage after Category 5 Cyclone Yasi roared ashore overnight. The towns of Tully, Mission Beach, Cardwell, Silkwood, and Innisfail bore the brunt of the monster storm's 285 km/h winds, but there are no reports of deaths or serious injuries, thankfully. Everybody pulled together and got through it pretty good. Buildings were destroyed, roofs were ripped off houses, and trees were shredded as the monster storm slammed ashore about midnight. More than 180,000 homes remain without power. The cyclone has continued to weaken, but now heavy rain and damaging gusts in excess of 90 km/h, which are expected to extend to the northern territory, bordering including Longreach and Mount Isa overnight. So, of course, the storm's winding down, but you're still under the gun there with all that. It's just like a super thunderstorms. Then they have the oyster story. And here's a funny one. Al Gore comes out of the cracks. Snowstorms are caused by the warming. I'm not even going to get into it. Definitely check it out if you want a good laugh. Now on the Disaster Alert Network, we have today, where was it? Cyclone Yasi slams into flood hit Queensland. Flash floods in the Pacific Philippines. There's a couple of others. They got a cold wave North America. Cold air continues to plunge into southern Arizona from Canada. This will bring another round of record low temperatures for the South United States. The UN food price story. More than 43,000 marooned in Sri Lankan floods. And that's about it for today. And of course, if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments below. We can kind of keep track of what's going on day to day. And until tomorrow, enjoy while you can, everybody.